Key point 1. Look for joy from within. Everyone can relate to the tireless search for happiness. Regardless of religious or cultural differences, we seek satisfaction and avoid suffering. However, the feeling of happiness is impermanent and often depends on external circumstances. True inner peace and joy live within us and do not depend on our success and prosperity. Nor can power and achievement give us complete satisfaction. But how can we find a path to genuine joy? How can we transform it from a fleeting feeling into a state of mind? First, understand that there are two methods to experience happiness and satisfaction. Pleasures of the senses, food, sex, massage, etc., and deep emotional joy from being compassionate or sharing love. The second kind of happiness is long-lasting and trustworthy. It exists despite all our suffering. It heals the soul and gives meaning to life. We cannot avoid suffering, but we can choose how to deal with it. Here, you will uncover the secrets of eternal inner joy and practical techniques for improving your life. Follow along to learn about the power of forgiveness and compassion. Why is it harmful to focus only on yourself while ignoring others? How can you look at the situation more broadly? What are the main pillars of joy, and how do you cultivate them? You will also learn how to maintain inner peace when things go wrong. These deep conversations of modern sages, the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu, under the careful coordination of Douglas Abrams, will inspire you to rethink your life. Remember, every new day is a chance to start again. The more time you spend thinking about yourself, the more suffering you will experience. Dalai Lama. Key point 2. Recognize suffering as an integral part of life. It is a common belief that happiness means avoiding suffering. Feeling both mental and physical pain, you try to dull it as soon as possible. However, the road to joy does not bypass the sad and challenging moments. It passes through them. Suffering ranges from everyday problems to catastrophes and even death. Of course, you can't control natural disasters, wars, and incurable diseases, but there are many things that you can influence. One of the areas you can improve is your mental state. Reacting emotionally to events around you creates a lot of suffering. When something terrible happens, you can choose how to perceive the situation. You can either succumb to negativity and give up, or seek new opportunities. Negative feelings and experiences such as anger, sadness, and fear cause significant discomfort. They disturb your mind and can cause heartache. Strengthening your mental health from their harmful influence is necessary to protect yourself. Develop your mind and emotional immunity to cope better with strong feelings. Of course, this process takes time and effort. Unfortunately, no magic pill will relieve you of all worries and give you peace. Don't be ashamed of your feelings, and don't blame yourself for them. Denying anger, sadness, or fear only makes them worse. Self-exploration and meditation will help you cope with intense reactions better. Suffering occurs when you realize that you cannot control everything. You want things to be different from what they are. This senseless struggle only takes away vital energy. To avoid this, allow the world around you to be as it is. Sometimes you may feel as if the suffering will consume you and never end. It is essential to realize that suffering passes in the same way as moments of happiness. Knowing the impermanence of misery will make it easier for you to cope with it. In addition, challenging moments teach you to rejoice and appreciate moments of peace and pleasure sincerely. Remember that you are not alone in suffering. Bad times happen to everyone, regardless of whether the person is good or bad. That's just the way the world works. Did you know? An emotion is a short-term flash that lasts from a second to several minutes, but the mood lasts longer, from several minutes to several days. Key point 3. Shift your focus from yourself to others. Most of your daily stress comes from not feeling connected to others. African ethical teaching, Ubuntu, says that everyone is interconnected, which is humanity's greatest strength. Separation from others breeds hatred and danger. Therefore, recognizing that we are all the same is critical. We have the same problems and experiences. Accepting this truth helps to understand the actions of others and sympathize with them. By treating others as yourself, you can learn to understand even your enemies. In today's world, it's hard not to feel alone. We have lost the wisdom of unity and community because everyone concentrates on their problems and strives for personal achievements. You can feel lonely even in a group and at a crowded party. Your attitude determines a lot. When you're angry and judged negatively, you feel lonely. However, open hearts and trust in one another give even a hermit a sense of unity. Warmth and love for others are the fastest roads to happiness. Humans are social creatures that need to cooperate to survive. It requires mutual trust, the foundation of friendship and all other partnerships. It helps unite entire nations and peoples. Openness to the world and people around it reduces anxiety and relaxes us. Break down the barriers between yourself and others. Refrain from thinking that you are better or worse. It may surprise you, but being too self-centered can cause health problems. For example, fear and distrust of others increase blood pressure. Furthermore, leading an isolated life prevents you from feeling happy and fulfilled. By focusing only on yourself and considering yourself unique, you bring anxiety and unrealistically high demands into your life. There will always be those who are better, smarter, or faster than you. Comparing yourself to others brings frustration and envy, which steals joy. Although these feelings are natural, try not to succumb to them and benefit from them. Usually, jealousy highlights our needs. If you're jealous of your friend because of his new job, it may be time to look for a new place yourself. Be happy for the one you envy and wish them even more success. It is how mudita works, sympathetic joy, which is the antidote to envy in Buddhism. When going through a difficult phase of life, consider that you are not the only one experiencing something similar. Awareness of oneness with other people eases both mental and physical pain. Key point 4. Look at the situation from another angle. You create most of your pain, but you can also choose to create more pleasure. The key to inner peace and fulfillment is your perspective. Any situation has negative and positive sides. Looking for the good in unpleasant events makes it easier to cope with challenging experiences. By changing our view of the world, we change our feelings and actions. In the end, this leads to the fact that the world itself becomes different. When faced with a job loss or divorce, it's easy to give up and refuse to move on. A broken dream or expectation causes despair, anger, and exhaustion. Nonetheless, your pain will lessen if you think about how many people have already gone through something similar and see new possibilities. Losing a job means new perspectives and an opportunity to reveal hidden talents. A divorce is a chance to fall in love again and meet a soulmate. Looking at the bigger picture makes it easier to see positive consequences. Sometimes you perceive things subjectively, relying only on previous experiences. However, to get an accurate picture, you must look at the situation from all sides. Anger and fear are often the first reactions to unexpected events. It might be challenging to remain calm and appraise the situation under stress. You can train the ability to react smoothly to adverse events. Try to think of a time when everything went wrong, and remember all the good things you achieved due to that situation. Perhaps after quitting your job, you finally found time for yourself and your hobbies. It's not about looking at the world through rose-colored glasses, but about not focusing only on the negatives. When you look at the world more broadly, you become less categorical and can see someone else's point of view. You also notice that you are not the only one suffering and going through trials. It's how the observer effect works. When astronauts saw Earth from space, they realized the unity and interconnectedness of everything on the planet. Never again could they focus only on their personal and national interests. When you're sick or stuck in a traffic jam, remember that someone is going through the same thing. Key point 5. Don't try to control reality. Accept it. When you learn to look at the world broadly, you become more aware of your place in it and your possibilities. No one can control all aspects of life. Therefore, it's crucial to accept your weaknesses, to be happy. Vulnerability reminds you that you cannot and should not deal with problems alone. You need the help and support of the people around you. Don't put yourself above others, but remember that you are important. Knowing your strengths and weaknesses will help you set realistic goals and not get discouraged when things don't work out. After all, it only means you have to put in more effort. Accept your failures with grace. You're not a superhero. You're just learning to do what you can. Humor is a great way to lower the expectations of yourself and others. When you're too serious and stressed, achieving your desired results is more challenging. A good joke not only lifts the mood, but also makes it easier to cope with tasks. The ability to laugh at yourself and the situation unites people. It's like you're erasing the boundaries and revealing your imperfections. Then others can relax and be themselves as well. In addition, by laughing and joking, you indirectly communicate to others that you will not offend them. Laughing at yourself will help you cope with life's hardships and attract like-minded people. As well as embracing reality as it is, humor is also about coming to terms with challenging moments. Yes, life isn't easy, but it happens to everyone, so it's best to laugh it off and move on. By learning to see life from a broader perspective and laughing at yourself, you will be able to see life as it is, beautiful and imperfect at the same time. Acceptance of imperfect reality is the only way to change. Disappointment, difficulties, pain, and loss are integral parts of existence. You can't avoid them, but it is worth learning to see their positive side. Ultimately, you can see life's beauty through its negative aspects. After a rainy day, the sun gets brighter. You can't control life, but you can influence your perception. Key point 6. Let go of the past through forgiveness. To live a happy and fulfilling life, you must learn to forgive. Interacting with others can be painful. The first reaction to an insult is the desire to retaliate and defend oneself. However, an eye for an eye reaction only leads to an escalation of the conflict and does not bring peace of mind. Forgiveness is another natural reaction along with revenge. Only you choose how to respond to an insult. Forgiveness means breaking the cycle of retaliation and healing from pain. Offenses disturb your inner peace and lead to stress. You feel tension, anger, and sadness at the time of the conflict and when you think about this situation later. Forgiveness is the only way to free yourself of this burden. However, to excuse does not mean to forget or ignore the wrong. It means consciously not following the path of hatred. Indeed, there is a difference between forgiving and allowing others to hurt you. Forgiveness is the ability to respond firmly and unambiguously to injustice while maintaining humanity. When you let go of resentment, you decide to live in the present, not the past. Grievances drag you down and prevent you from seeing the good. In fact, by choosing forgiveness, you make life easier for the person who offended you and for yourself. You regain control over your feelings and destiny. Forgiveness and gratitude are closely related. The more you live in the present, the more you'll be able to recognize the beauty of every moment. Despite the suffering and pain in the world, there are many reasons to be happy and grateful. Many people do not have the chance to wake up in a warm bed and eat breakfast, so you should appreciate this opportunity. Enjoying simple things makes it easier to cope with difficulties. When you delight in and give thanks for everything you receive, you accept reality and the world as it is. There will always be difficulties, but try to notice the good things in your life. Gratitude brings people together and teaches you to be happy in the successes of others. It's an antidote to envy because you focus on what you already have, not on what you lack. Gratitude means concentrating on the positive while accepting the inevitability of the negative. Key point 7. Give to get. True happiness and inner peace come only when you are aware of your connection with those around you. Caring for others expands on the instinct necessary for human survival. You can cultivate compassion and care for the people around you. Of course, you cannot always help with money or active actions, but a kind word and emotional support also work. Smile at a passerby to test this in practice. Your mood will rise, and you will feel the power of interaction. Helping others releases endorphins. It's almost like eating a chocolate bar. However, despite the power of mutual aid, opening your heart to others can be scary. You may even consider compassion as a weakness. To change this, learn to empathize and care for yourself. Accept your powerlessness and allow yourself to be weak. It will help you develop compassion for others and not demand too much from them or yourself. Love yourself to love others. You've probably noticed how joyful it is to give gifts and make surprises for your loved ones. One of the keys to living a fulfilled and happy life is to be generous. When you give or share something, it makes room for new things in your life. Charity and the ability to give are essential components of any religion. It's not only about money and things, but also about the time we give to others. There are different forms of generosity. Time and money, the attention you give to others, and material donations. Freedom from fears, sound advice and support. Spiritual gifts, the giving of knowledge and wisdom. You can spend time with loved ones, teach a child, or take extra clothes and unnecessary things to charity funds. Each such contribution to social well-being is valuable and significant. And it's not only about high values, but also what makes you human and gives your life meaning. Unity is somewhat devalued in today's world, filled with competition and individual achievements. People focus on their problems and pay little attention to others. However, everyone needs people around to remain human. Generosity and openness are a way to reduce selfishness and an overly critical view of reality. By cultivating generosity, you'll be able to accept the imperfection of the world and yourself. We are fragile creatures, and it is from this weakness, not despite it, that we discover the possibility of true joy. Desmond Tutu. Conclusion. True happiness and inner peace do not depend on external circumstances. It doesn't matter where you were born or how old you are. You have the opportunity to live fully and joyfully right now. It's your birthright. You only need to choose happiness. There are 8 fundamental conditions for true joy. Half of them are the qualities we develop by training our minds. Ability to look at the situation from different angles. Humility from understanding who you are. The mastery of seeing humor, even when sad. And the capacity to accept reality as is. The other half of conditions for happiness are the qualities of the heart. That is, what we feel. The power to forgive those who hurt you. Gratitude for all that you have today. The desire to help others and compassion. And generosity and willingness to share what you have. These conditions are the basis to help you attain a happy life. By acquiring these techniques, you can change your life and finally achieve inner peace. Of course, it takes effort and time, but mastering at least a few of these skills will bring joy to your life. Try this. 1. The next time you feel sad, think that you are not the only one feeling bad right now. It will help ease your pain and give you the strength to live on. 2. Facing a problem or difficult situation, evaluate it globally. Consider whether it will be relevant in a month, a year, or 10. It will reduce your stress. 3. Cultivate gratitude. Before you fall asleep, think about what you're thankful for on this day. Make this your habit.